quick question. What is that face you all have to make at some point?
Oh, wow.
And do you coordinate that thing, or what? How does that work?
I guess this is all Rob.
Rob just kind of gave us the direction. He was like, figure out the face.
Yeah. No, we definitely had like group sessions where we were practicing.
Yeah, we were like, how do we get this together?
And then we'll freeze it and we'll see what happens, right? One of those things.
Yeah.
Stony, is it true that you learned how to speak English through watching Friends?
In a large way, yeah. That was a massive part of my upbringing, was watching Ross. Yeah.
Really? Did you tell him this when you talked to him when you first saw him?
No, you know what? I never told him. That. I'll do it. I'll see him in a couple of days. I'll probably tell him then. But I never told him on set. I completely forgot to do.
Oh man, I would be the first thing I'd say, and I also would tell him pivot at some point, and so we'd go from there. But you know how it is.
We were on a break.
We were on a break.
Guys.
God.
Could we learn words from this? I mean, it just surprises me. That's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
No, all right. It was bizarre to me. When you look at this, are you scared by it when you watch it, or is it something because you're a part of it you don't get that kind of feeling?
I definitely, I mean, because when we're there, we don't have all the like a lot of it is CGI.
The effects.
So we're just like sometimes acting to golf balls and darkness and nothing. So like to see it actually in on screen is kind of crazy.
It's a like scary show. They got through. You know, it happened. It happened.
No, the locations were very like spooky. I feel like, and I feel like that's the main thing that like we were all like, oh, where are we right now in the middle of the forest?
Were you all Goosebump kids? Did you read the books? Were you fans?
We were Scholastic Book Fair kids. So very much so. I mean, and so going from being a kid reading the books to being in the show, it's crazy.
Surreal. It's crazy.
Yeah. What was the audition process like? Because how do you audition to play a friend?
Well, it was interesting. I actually auditioned for like Cece's role at first, and then they kind of just called me back, and then they called me in for a chemistry read, and I was on the phone with my agent, and they're like, so they want you for a chemistry read, and I was like, amazing. But they want you for a different character, and I was like, what? So my first ever time meeting Sam and reading with him was already as Frankie, and I was still kind of trying to like figure out who she was and her relationship to him. So that was honestly very, very nerve-wracking, but it was also really fun.
The others, did you?
Yeah. So I actually, it's funny. I auditioned for Sam's role.
Wait, what?
I did.
No.
I did.
You two could have been twins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Identical, right?
Right.
But yeah, no. Moved over into the CJ role, and I had the chemistry read with Sam. Off the bat, CJ is like loving of the two twins. He's brother Dev, like all this different stuff, and so yeah, I mean that was kind of the audition process for me.
Yeah, I think I originally went out for your role.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
this is just
look at this.
And then they came back and they were like, could you try this one? And I think I did one tape for it, and then they just I was in New York like a few days later.
I think our showrunners Rob Letterman and Hillary Winston, I think they kind of look for more of like people instead of like characters, and I think they did a good job at kind of just like placing us and casting us and just liking us for who we are as well.
Yeah,
exactly.
How much do the characters change over the course of the series?
Oh, there were definitely strong arcs, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that speaks to the story that our showrunners were able to build. It really is something that reflects, teenage life, what it means to go through struggles, what it means to find yourself and become yourself. And so CJ definitely runs a character arc of going from being this, kind of slip-up jokester guy eating people's food, delivering to being I ate a lot of egg rolls, like a lot of egg rolls.
Too many.
But he transitions into this character that trusts himself to be a leader, be someone that people can depend on. And that also happens for these characters in the series too. So they did a really good job of incorporating a strong arc for our characters.
Yeah, Stony seems real rough in the beginning. He's kind of mean. Does he get nicer as time goes on?
I mean, when we first meet him, he has a lot of internalized anger and frustration and jealousy towards the world in many ways. And I think later in the season, he's kind of forced to channel that in a more positive and courageous way as he kind of helps everyone deal with whatever we're going through in the season, you know.
What do you hope kids will learn from this series?
Ooh, I feel like there's a lot of lessons in this series. I feel like, you know, if you think of episode 1 specifically, it's kind of just like, don't give in to peer pressure, because maybe sometimes it's not that good of an idea and bad things will happen. But I think there's a bunch of lessons to be learned of just like, you know, being brave and facing your fears, because I think, you know, every one of the monsters that we face during the season it represents a real life issue. And I feel like that's a really good lesson to be taught.
Yeah, and I think it also teaches the importance of friends and family and what it means to lean on people. All of our characters, they lean on each other throughout the series. So yeah, I think that there are a lot of good lessons to be learned.
The thing grabbed me right away was don't go in the basement. And I have always been scared of the basement. Has anybody else had that fear?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just like this like ominous space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm not going down the basement. If you tell me that, I'm good. Lock the door, keep me out of there, and we're fine. I think it works out. Well, thank you guys so much. Great, good luck with this. And don't go in the basement.
Please.
I'm warning you.
Please.